The Beaches podcast is going to give you everything you want to know about a beach before you go there. I hope you enjoy the show. Be sure to check out our website, www.sandee.com. Without further ado, let's get into the show.
All right, so we've got a pretty fascinating deep dive teed up for today. Looks like our listener is all about Madeira.
Oh, yeah, Madeira's fantastic.
Yeah, they're not messing around. I mean, they're going deep. Notes about landscapes and wine and festivals.
Well, they certainly came to the right place then.
Exactly. So we're going beyond the travel brochures. Let's unearth those hidden gems. Let's paint a picture for our listener, a picture that goes beyond those admittedly stunning photos.
Well, it's interesting because Madeira is one of those places that offers a little bit of everything. You can find adventure and you can find peace all in one place. And I think that that's what really draws people to it.
I love that. Okay, so first impression from the research. This place is unbelievably green. I'm talking dramatic cliffs, valleys just bursting with life. What's the geological story there?
Well, it all comes down to its volcanic origins. Millions of years ago, volcanic eruptions shaped the island, creating those dramatic cliffs and those deep valleys. And the thing about volcanic soil is that it's incredibly fertile, which is why you see such lush vegetation.
It's funny because I'm looking at photos now, and it kind of reminds me of Hawaii or Iceland, but with its own unique personality.
You're exactly right. It has that same kind of raw beauty, but with a totally different vibe. And, while we're talking about unique landscapes, we have to mention the Laura Silva Forest. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and for good reason.
Oh, yeah. That one caught my eye, too. What makes it so special?
Well, imagine this. You're walking through a forest that's been around for millions of years. I mean, we're talking ancient. This forest is home to plant and animal life that you won't find anywhere else in the world. You might even spot a trocaz pigeon.
A trocaz pigeon?
Yeah, it's this really cool pigeon with these unique markings. And, when you think about hiking through a landscape that's basically a living museum, it's a pretty incredible experience.
Oh, that's seriously cool. All right, let's switch gears for a second, talk about something else that caught my eye. Madeira wine. Besides being, wine, I'm a total novice. Fill me in.
Ugh, Madeira wine. It's really in a category of its own. So it's fortified, which means they add brandy during the process, and then they go through this unique heating and aging process called estufagem.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about that, estufagem.
Yes, that's it. And it's actually meant to mimic the way Madeira wine used to age in the barrels on ships during those long sea voyages through tropical climates. This process results in some really complex flavors. It's unlike any other wine you've ever tasted.
Okay, so what are we talking about here? Give me the tasting notes. What should I expect?
Well, you get a lot of nutty flavors like caramel and toffee, and then often there's this hint of spice and dried fruit. It's really unique, and there's a whole range from dry to sweet. You can find a dry Cercial Madeira that pairs beautifully with almonds, or you can go for a sweet Malmsey that's perfect with chocolate desserts.
Now you're making me wish we were doing this deep dive in person with a tasting flight. I've always thought that festivals are a window into the soul of a place. And it looks like Madeira has no shortage of those. What stands out?
Oh, you are absolutely right. And you picked the right island because Madeira is all about festivals. The one that everyone knows about is the Flower Festival.
Yeah, those photos are unbelievable. It basically carpet entire streets with flowers.
Yeah.
I mean, who designs those?
Well, it's a real community effort. Local artists and residents come together to design these incredible flower carpets. It's quite a spectacle. And of course, you can't talk about Madeira without mentioning the Carnival.
Oh, Carnival. Okay, yeah. Tell me more.
It's like a smaller, more intimate version of Rio's Carnival. But what you'll really enjoy, in my opinion, are the smaller local festivals.
That's what I was hoping you'd say. Those local celebrations always seem to have so much heart.
Exactly. I mean, you might stumble upon a tiny village celebrating their patron saint with traditional music and dancing. And food. Oh my gosh, the food. One time I was lucky enough to experience a small village celebrating the Festa de Nossa Senhora da Piedade. It's a festival for the patron saint of fishermen.
Oh, wow. That sounds amazing. What was it like?
Oh, it was just magical. There was music and dancing, and they even had a boat procession on the water. Talk about experiencing the heart and soul of a place.
You got that right. So to recap, we've got these insanely beautiful landscapes sculpted by volcanoes, a winemaking tradition unlike anything I've ever heard of, and a year-round calendar of festivals, big and small. I'm sensing a theme here.
Yes. Madeira is a place where natural beauty, tradition, and celebration all come together. It's a pretty unique combination.
It really is. So for our listener, the big question is, what will your Madeira adventure look like? Will it be hiking through ancient forests, sipping Madeira wine overlooking the Atlantic, or maybe dancing the night away at a local festival?
Or, knowing our listener, maybe all of the above.
Right. We've given you a great starting point, but I always encourage our listeners to keep digging, keep researching. There's a whole world waiting to be discovered in Madeira, and we can't wait to hear all about your adventures when you get back.
Enjoy your trip.
Happy travels.
Thanks for listening to the show, and be sure to tune in next week for your favorite episode about some of the best beaches and beach information in the world.